So you're thinking about moving to Tennessee, Nashville in particular. Well, before you do, stop right there. Here are the 7 things that you've got to know in 2022 before you even go ahead and start moving. Hey, my name is Bourgeois. I am your Nashville, Tennessee real estate agent and really your resource for all things Nashville. So whether it be you're looking at things like tips like we're going ahead and doing today, or you want market updates, you want to see new homes, a resale home, you want to list, move, or even relocate, I really want to be a resource for you, and I definitely want to make this be an easier process for you as well. Whether that be you're moving in the next 9 days or you're moving in the next 90 days, feel free to leave a comment below, or you can text me, email me, call me, click on the calendar link in the description below. No, but seriously, click on it. Let's go ahead and connect face to face. Figure out exactly what it is you're looking for and make this be the smoothest process for you ever. Hey, if you're looking for more tips like we're going ahead and doing today, or you want home tours, community tours, or you just want to know all there is to know about Nashville, go ahead and like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Notification bell is just going to make sure you're getting as much up-to-date content as possible throughout this entire process. Other than that, let's jump into it. So you're looking at Tennessee, you're looking at Nashville in particular, and you're definitely probably looking at all of the surrounding counties all around Nashville as well. Well, today I want to go ahead and give you the top tips to make your move and your relocation one of the smoothest relocation moves ever. So whether that be you're moving from another state or you're moving from another city, I definitely want to go ahead and make these tips be something that you're able to use and you're able to come back and go, oh my gosh, John was so right. Wow. Oh, Hey, let me go ahead and explain a couple things before I go any further, right? I am a fellow relocator myself. In fact, I grew up on a little island in the middle of the Pacific called Guam. My family grew up there. My parents still have a home over there. And oh my goodness, it is a gorgeous island. But I moved from there over to Sydney, Australia. I spent 7 years in Sydney, Australia. Moved from Sydney, Australia to Southern California, spent 5 years in Southern California, moved from Southern California up to Seattle, spent 7 years in Seattle, and moved from there over to Nashville. And I've been in Nashville ever since. And let me just tell you one thing that I've learned from all of those relocations: moving sucks. I've got to put it out there, moving sucks. It's one of those things that I absolutely hate doing, right? And so one of the reasons why I've gone ahead and created this video for you is to really help you as an expert relocator, right? Really help you be able to make this process just be super simple. So whether that be you've never moved, you've moved as many times as I have, or you've moved way more than me, these tips are going to go ahead and make this process be super simple for you. Hey, make sure you stay until the end. The last tip, promise you, it's going to make sure this is one of the smoothest processes for you ever. All right, tip number 1. Hey, if you are selling your home, this is probably one of the biggest and best tips that I can give you. So whether you are moving from another city or you're moving from another state, here's one of the things you definitely want to go ahead and make sure that you're doing. You want to go ahead and talk to your realtor, talk to your expert, and make your home sale contingent on this, right? At the point that you go ahead and sell your home, it's gone ahead and done, the contract is completed. You go ahead and negotiate with the buyer for you to go ahead and actually stay in the home, lease back, rent back, whatever you want to call it. Go ahead and actually stay in the home anywhere from 30 to 45 to 60 days in the home. Now you can actually go ahead, depending on how your expert, your realtor works, you can actually do that free, or you can go ahead and pay rent back to the buyer for the amount of days that you're staying in that home. But let me explain to you why this is such an amazing thing for you to be able to do, right? It allows you to be able to have that cold hard cash in the bank account ready to go, right? And then on top of that, it allows you to be able to stay in your home while you're going ahead and you're moving your boxes and you're packing things up. But what it also allows you to do is when you find the next home in Tennessee, in Nashville, in the surrounding counties that we're currently in, right? It allows you to go ahead and be able to put in an offer that is either a cash offer or just a standard offer, but it allows you to be able to waive that contingency based on the fact of you having to sell your other home. And what that's going to do, especially if there's multiple offers happening on the same home, is it's going to allow yours to go ahead and float to the top. Tip number 2, and this is a big one, so make sure you write it down and keep it up here, right? You're gonna wanna get a pre-approval from a local lender, right? Now, obviously, this is very, very important. You don't wanna go ahead and be pre-qualified. You wanna make sure that you're pre-approved. And here's the reason why. You've gone ahead, hypothetically, you've sold your home in the other state or in the other city. You've got the money to go ahead and put it towards the new home. But by going ahead and getting pre-approved, you know exactly what type of home and what type of budget you're being able to work in. So when you're working with myself, you're being able to give me your lists, your needs, your location that you're wanting to be in, but you're also knowing exactly the type of home and budget that we're working with as well. That allows an agent like myself to go ahead and set up a search for you so that when you're in another state looking, you're being able to say, oh yeah, that's exactly what I like, or that one I like, this one I like, that one I like, so on and so forth. One of the reasons why you want to go ahead and also work with a local lender rather than just a bigbox.com lender, right, is when you're working with a seller's agent, you're going ahead and putting in offers. You want that seller's agent to know that they know who that local lender is so that they know that that lender is able to get the job done and be able to wrap things up for their sellers. Now, if you don't have any recommendation when it comes to lenders, hey, reach out, ask questions. I'm more than willing to make some recommendations for you as well. But you want to definitely make sure that you get pre-approved and you want to be working with a local lender as well. Tip number 3, and this is really, really important out of all of the movings that I've done. Here's one thing that I most bestly can tell you. Most bestly can tell you, is that actually a word? I don't think it is. Here's one thing that I can definitely go ahead and tell you, you gotta look out for. You don't have to take everything. In our most recent move over to Nashville, we went ahead and we went through our pots and our pans and our plates and our cups, and we went through our furniture, and we went ahead and said, what don't we want to continue to live with, and what can we go ahead and give away to the Goodwill? What can we go ahead and write off on taxes? What can we sell? So on and so forth. You don't have to take everything, so remember that, right? You don't want to be lugging in your old home unless you absolutely, absolutely love it. Remember, you can always go ahead and pick up some of that stuff when you get here. And so let that be a massive tip for you. Go ahead and box up the things that you absolutely love. Go ahead and leave the ones that you don't. Hey, and also do me a favor. If you have relocated, moved a multitude of times, go ahead in the comments below, write out some of your best tips that you've gone ahead and done or found through your relocations. I'm always willing to learn, and I always like to be able to hear from my audience. So if there's some things that I don't mention in this video today that you think is awesome, why don't you put it in the comments below so I can share it with my clients, with my customers when they're going ahead and relocating as well. All right, tip number 4, and this is gonna sound slightly awkward based off of the last tip that we were just on. Make sure you take the things that you need. Let me explain that. In the last tip, we were talking about the fact of don't take everything, go ahead and give it away, right? On the flip side, make sure you're bringing the things that you need. Currently, right now in 2022, we're not dealing with the same style of inventory problems that we were dealing, say, in 2021 or in 2020. We're still dealing with some of it. In fact, my sister just went ahead and ordered a couple of couches. It literally took them 8 to almost 9 months for them actually to receive their furniture to their doorstep. Most furniture shops are not going ahead and selling directly off the floor. And so if you want to be without a refrigerator or a dryer or a sofa or a bed, my best recommendation to you is, hey, get rid of the things that you know you don't like and you don't necessarily need, but bring the stuff that you need and you could go ahead and replace once you've gone ahead and put it on order and received it to your home. So that would be my next tip for you. All right, tip number 5, and this comes directly from one of my clients that are moving from the north down to Nashville, and they're going ahead and relocating this direction. If you have kids, if you have seniors that you are looking after and going ahead and taking care of, make sure that you get on the waiting list. With as many people that are going ahead and making Nashville be their home, that's so important. So if you're pregnant or you've got kids or you're bringing your parents with you, make sure you go ahead and research the best schools, the best kindergartens, the best private schools, the best daycares, the best senior assistant living, and go ahead and jump on that waiting list, right? In some of the cases, you're gonna have to go ahead and pay, $50 to $100 fees to go ahead and jump onto the waiting list, but it's super, super important that you do that before you get here so that when you get here, you got the comfort in knowing, hey, we've got all that already taken care of. If you want any recommendations when it comes to, daycares, private schools, assistant living, go ahead, reach out, comment below, send me an email, call me, text me, whatever. Let's go ahead and make sure that you've gotten on those lists so that when you get this direction, you're ready to go. And on that note, obviously, if you're moving from out of state into Tennessee, right, you're gonna wanna make sure, and this is especially if you've got kids, you're gonna wanna make sure you've got proof of immunization, right? I'll make sure to put that in the description below on how you're able to do that, right? But especially if you're moving from right in the middle of school or you're going ahead and you are wanting to get your kids into school, Tennessee is definitely gonna need to know that the kids have gone ahead and been immunized and that you've got records for that as well. And so that's really, really important that you get that done before moving this direction. Think about it this way, right? You want to be able to have as much done before you move so that when you get here, it's not as stressful as it could be. You're just being able to unpack and be able to call this place your home. All right, tip number 6. Hey, you're not gonna wanna leave Fluffy or Furball in the area that you just were at. And so it's really, really important. And by the way, this is our guy right over here. And he is a ball of energy, but it's really, really important that if you are bringing pets this direction, right, you're gonna wanna make sure that your pet has been immunized for rabies. We are a rabies tag and a leash state, so it's really, really important that you know about that stuff, right? And then on top of that, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're on a flea and heartworm program of some sort. Obviously, the state of Tennessee, we've got humidity. Our spring, our summer, and our fall definitely has those bugs that can be in the nature, and you're going to go ahead and enjoy that by going ahead and hitting our waterfalls, the outdoors, that lifestyle that we have here in Tennessee. And so make sure that Fluffy and Furball are taken care of. On that note about outside living and enjoying the outdoors that is Tennessee, if you are wanting to get your fishing license and your hunting license, it's really, really important, and I've got you right here. I'll make sure that we leave a link in the description for you to be able to do that. But what you will need is you will need a valid Tennessee license for that. For kids that are anywhere between 13 and under, they do not need a fishing license. For anybody that's 13 up to 15, they are going to need a junior hunting license. Other than that, everybody else is going to need their fishing and hunting license if you're a full-grown adult to be able to do those activities. All right, tip number 8. There we are. Tip number 8. Here we go. One of the biggest things that I've learned from all of my relocations, right, is you're gonna wanna think about where you're gonna be living while you're looking and while you're finding your perfect home. One of my biggest recommendations that I can make to you is you want to definitely, as you touch down, be able to kind of rent a space for you to kind of know the area while you're still looking for a home. Now, there's multiple different options to be able to do that, and there's definitely been the days where you would Airbnb or short-term rental or go ahead and stay with a family or a friend. But one of the biggest things that I want you to be aware of is you don't necessarily have to do any of those. You actually can go ahead and work with one of the partners that I work with called Nashville Apartment Rental. The beautiful thing about this team is that you don't have to be locked into a year-long lease, right? You can actually go ahead and have, up to 3-month leases, 6 months, a year long if you wanted to, and so on and so forth. But it allows you to get to know the area you're in. Some of the options they offer are fully furnished places. They offer the ability to go ahead and have pools and gyms in there as well, but it really allows you to just get to know the area while you're then working with myself to go ahead and find that perfect home. Now, one of the reasons why I like them couple of reasons. One, you're not signing necessarily a year-long lease. That's the first reason. Two, they're willing to do very similar to myself when I'm working with my clients, is they're willing to, if you're doing it out of state, right, they're willing to go ahead and do a video walkthrough and a tour of the home, FaceTime you, so on and so forth, so you can get to know that feeling as well. They're very knowledgeable. They definitely take care of you as well. But here's what I don't want you running into, right? I was stepping into, now this was not one of my clients, so I was stepping into one of these new housing developments and got to hear a conversation that was happening between the sales office and the buyer, right? And really the buyer was frustrated. And let me tell you why. Because he had been told that they would be in their home at a certain amount of time, but they weren't. In fact, the builder hadn't even broken ground on their home yet. And he was really frustrated with, when's my home going to start being built, right? And the problem with the most traditional rents is you're signing another year-long lease. Well, the beautiful thing about Nashville apartment rentals is you're not having to do that, right? If you find that there's a delay in your build for whatever reason, I'll tell you this, my clients, my customers, I'm their advocate. I'm the one that's constantly going in and saying, hey, where are we at? How are we going? What's going on? Giving you the updates that you need, right? But if you do find that you are needing a longer period of time, you got the ability to extend that lease just a little bit more. And also, when you're ready to go ahead and close on it, you're being able to go ahead and tell them 30 days in advance, hey, I'm going ahead, I'm closing out. So that would be my biggest tip to you as well is, hey, find a rental, get yourself comfortable in the area, get to know where the shops are at, where your favorite restaurants are at, while you're going ahead and also searching for your favorite home. Oh, and the other really cool thing that I completely forgot, and I'm so glad I remembered, it's completely free to you. Obviously, you got to pay for the rent, right? But it's a completely free service to you. The apartment complexes, the rentals that Nashville Apartment Rentals works with actually goes ahead and incorporates their marketing budget towards the fee that they're paying that team, right? Rather than you. So it's a really good service for you to be able to have to know, hey, I've got a home, we've sold our home, we're moving, we're calling Nashville the place where we want to live, and we don't have to stress out about finding a place necessarily that doesn't match our family needs. We can go ahead, we can stay in an apartment for a little bit, and then we can move into our perfect home when we're ready. And the last tip that I would be able to give you is this: work with an expert. Hey, if you are looking to move in the next 9 days or the next 90 days, pick up the phone, give me a call, let's connect, let's figure out exactly what it is that you're looking for, and let me be your advocate, right? I've got the contacts for you. I've got the ability to help this be something that's super simple and super smooth. As a fellow relocator myself, right, I want this to be a transition for you and your family that's super smooth rather than something that's stressful. It doesn't have to be, right? So pick up the phone, give me a call, give me a text. All that information is going to be in the description below. And I'd love to be able to connect with you, figure out exactly what it is you're looking for, and just make this be the smoothest process for you ever. Other than that, guys, I'll see you on the next video.